Yo, what is going on? You're checking out Qgen HQ. My name is Chris and welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out the XVX MK61 gaming mechanical keyboard, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably one of the coolest looking mechanical keyboards I have seen so far this year. Actually, just in general, it's a really awesome looking keyboard. Some real beautiful artwork on this thing. So before we go ahead and check it out, do me a favor, if you guys are new here and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. I want to grow this community bigger and better, and I can do that with the help of you guys. So now that you guys are all subbed up, I love you. Let's go ahead and check out this MK61. Included with your purchase, you just have a generic USB Type-C white plastic cable for charging and wired use. We also have your run-of-the-mill keycap puller. And here's where things get a bit more interesting. They actually include a small matching mouse pad as well. This is really cool because you don't see that from other companies. And yeah, I know it's not a super high quality mouse pad, but for someone who isn't really into gaming and they just need a small pad on the side, well, this will get the job done and it will match the keyboard aesthetically perfectly. I think it's really cool. Now, speaking of aesthetics, here we have the MK61 in all of its glory. Check out the keycaps on this keyboard. And that's not even the best part. Flipping this keyboard over, we are just immersed in this awesome coral sea theme. The infamous wave and the whale here, it's really awesome. The big red sun in the background, and the wave even wraps around the sides of the case as well, and it mimics right on to the keycap set. This is a job well done. I'm absolutely loving the aesthetic look of this keyboard. It's just an overall perfect looking matching set of keycaps and case here. We have some sharks and fish on some of these caps, even some starfish up here. And check out the spacebar, enter, and escape key. Just an absolute vibe. The font on this board is pretty different, but it matches as well overall. Everything's pretty in sync. I don't have any blemishes or, out of place font here. It's really awesome. And the fact that it comes with this matching mouse pad, again, just an absolute vibe. Now, taking a little bit of a closer look at these keycaps, they are PBT, but I'm not sure if they're full PBT as I can't find the proper information on them. They do feel pretty good to the touch, and the profile I would say is pretty close to cherry profile keycaps. They call this the XVX profile, and they state that it follows the same height as cherry profile keycaps, but gives you more area surface for your fingertips. Again, to me, they feel pretty good, and typing does feel very natural on this board overall. This is a 60% form factor keyboard with 61 keys in total. The USB port sits at the back center of this keyboard, and the board itself comes in at 11.5 inches long by 4 inches wide, and it sits at 1.6 inches high on the back end, and that's due to the slight angled height for added typing comfort. Flipping this keyboard over, you'll notice that we just have 4 rubber feet for grip and no added height adjustment footing. We also have an on and off switch to toggle your wired and wireless mode, and over to the right, literally on top of the whale's tail, we have a small cutout compartment that stores your 2.4 gigahertz wireless receiver. Now, this was a clever way to store this receiver. I just wish that it wasn't on the artwork itself and pushed a little bit more into the blank space, but that's just me. Now, speaking of wireless use, this keyboard comes with a built-in 1850 milliamp battery, and they state that it will last for 10 hours before having to recharge. Now, you might be able to stretch that a little bit if you keep the RGB lighting off, and this being a wireless keyboard, you're able to connect this to both Apple as well as Windows devices. And yes, this will work perfect with your Xbox or PlayStation consoles. This keyboard also has full end key rollover and anti-ghosting, so if you're a gamer, well, you're good to go. Now, at the time of purchase, you have a decent option of Gatoron switches, and personally, I went with Gatoron yellows. They're a nice linear switch that I think pair really nice with gaming keyboards. Now, I do have 2 issues with this board. One is the stabilizers. Woof. Those are some really rattly stabilizers, but that is to be expected in most pre-built keyboards, and I always suggest lubing your stabs when you get your board in, but these ones are really rattly. You'll get a full sound test here towards the end of the video, but my biggest problem, I can say, with this keyboard is the fact that we don't have a hot swap PCB here. I just feel like where we are today in the pre-built keyboard game especially, I expect hot swap. And I think every keyboard should have hot swap, especially for the prices that we're paying for these boards. And hot swap is just easy, and it's not really expensive for these companies to add hot swap. So I would like to see a hot swap PCB added to maybe a Mark II or a version 2 of this keyboard if we ever get one of those in the future, or their next keyboard in their lineup. I just really feel should have hot swap. Other than that, let's talk about the price. The price of this keyboard, they're asking $89 USD via their Amazon storefront, and they are currently rocking a $5 off coupon right now, which will knock it down to $84. I feel like that's a little high for a non-hot swap PCB, but it's also kind of fair at the same time for the fact that we do have a wireless capability here. We do also have RGB, and again, I feel like we're really paying for this aesthetic look. Like, I don't care who you are. If you walk into someone's studio or their game room or their house or their workspace and you see this keyboard, it's a conversation piece. You're gonna talk about it. You're like, dude, that's a really pretty looking keyboard. Like I mentioned earlier, this keyboard does have RGB, and I have no complaints with this at all. We don't have any shine through legends on these keycaps, but still the RGB makes this keyboard look even nicer with this awesome, cool Coral Sea theme. The RGB is very vibrant, and you could obviously change it via the keyboard's functionality, but they also do have a free software that you can download where you can go into a little bit more detail and mess with macros and lighting control. One thing to note, I believe this program is only available right now via Windows and not on Mac. It's not a huge deal if you're a Mac user. As I stated earlier, you could change the RGB modes on the keyboard itself, but you do lose out on some of those macro controls. Like always, if you guys want to pick up one of these keyboards, it will be linked down below in the video description, but I want to know what you guys out there think of this MK61. How many of you out there plan on picking this up or already maybe own one of these keyboards? Personally, I think this is an absolute vibe. I'm loving the aesthetic look of this keyboard, but what do you guys think about it? If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. I want to grow this community bigger and better, and I can do that with the help of you guys. So that's it for me. Most importantly, I hope you guys stay safe out there. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.